Okay. Within situation analysis, we've got the topic of how to understand some of positive and negative constraints in order to conduct an efficient and effective language, I mean, situation analysis. Right. So, a better understanding of the constraints, we must take into account the element of what research and theory say about the constraints and how the understanding of the constraints is offered within the relevant research and theory. So let's have a look at how we can better understand some of the key constraints and their overall impact upon language curriculum design. Right. Okay. We need to first identify the nature of the constraint. I mean, what constraint it is, what sort of limitation a particular course can be experiencing. Right. For example, we've got example of large class. If the I think it's useful to understand the number of students, whether the class is going to be of 40 students or 140 students. So this is key element. If the class is big, then we need to work out, we need to find out this constraint of large class, and we need to by understanding this constraint will facilitate us equip our teaching staff with relevant materials and facilities, right? And for that matter, the teachers can also be offered some training to handle large classes, right? So the major constraints, while understanding the element of constraint, is the time element, and then we've got the cultural background. For example, how long gonna be the course, okay, and whether it's going to be an intensive or extensive course, right? Whether we're gonna focus more on reading or speaking. So this element needs to be determined within this sort of time element, right? Then we need to find out the cultural background of second language or EFL learners, what cultural background they have, what religious or political or sort of background they have, right? And what's going to be the effect of first language on the understanding of the second language. And I think there is a lot of research going on that the effect of first language on second language is an issue to be investigated. And I think there is a research undertaken in the context of Pakistan as well, that first language, if the students are bit proficient enough in the first language, this can help them in the process of learning the second language, right? So we need to find out, for a better understanding of the constraints, we need to find out what's the local information out there and what's its relevance, right? And for that matter, we will then better be able to understand how much class time we can dedicate to a particular course, whether the students need, for example, 1 hour or 2 hours or 3 hours in a week. And in this regard, we can also then identify to what extent the students need time out of the classroom. And for that reason, we then can work on the goals of the course. I mean, in terms of analyzing the goals, whether the goals need to be redefined or the existing ones are adequate, right? There are two approaches in order to better understand different constraints. The major constraint we are talking here is the time, and the time. Well, what are the two approaches then? Right. Either we're going to work within the constraint, which means, for example, if the class is large enough, the teachers might be trained to divide the class into groups or pairs or sort of other activities. Right. That's a sort of working within the constraint. Okay, and then we got the element of how to address that particular constraint. Okay, if we are just, for example, working within the constraint, we might have to, revise our goals, and then we will have to fit the timetable to meet that particular constraint. So the whole point here is that understanding constraints before, while conducting situation analysis, is a key element, and this contributes to the success or failure of an efficient language curriculum design.